Hi there, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today I'm going to talk about performance-based agencies and why they're taking the marketing world by storm. Let's dive in. Okay, so I kind of thought that what's happening now was going to happen like quite a few years ago. I could see that people that were running agencies were taking more and more responsibility themselves to be able to work and close leads and taking a lot of that burden off the client's plate, okay? Because what we found over time is that, if you're setting up a campaign for a swimming pool cleaner and they're out installing swimming pools, they're not exactly that motivated to get on the phone quickly and pick it up and call a lead that's just come into their CRM, if they even had a CRM, okay? So what happened, and if you're listening to this video and you've got an agency, is that you're likely picked up a tool that is able to take all of that stuff off the client's plate and put it over to your plate. And it can be done with automation and AI now, which means that things are becoming easier for us agencies and also easier for the clients, okay? But when you look at what's going on here is that we're doing 90%, 95% of the work, even closing for them. Some people are closing for them, calling the leads and passing them on to the client on a plate, right? So when you think about it, us marketers are starting to grab all of these skills, which, really means that you can start taking, in my opinion, slices or equity in the businesses that you're working with, okay? And that equity can come in a performance basis, right? It can be, a backend deal, it can be a per sale deal, it can be a per appointment deal. There's a big opportunity. And what we're seeing, and I've been doing this for years, is we've been able to ask clients to come in and fund the advertising spend if you're running paid ads. And then we're able to say to them, we'll build your funnels, we'll write your copy, we'll do your video ads, we'll look after your SMS marketing, we'll look at booking the leads into your calendar, we'll do all of that for you. All you have to do is fund the ad spend. And most of us agency owners are aware that tools like High Level can do all of this, the funnels, the SMS stuff, the follow-ups, the AI that can qualify and book appointments, the hotkeys, the phone calls. There's just so much we can do this day, and there's so much that we've got on our fingertips to allow us to, as I said, take a lot of the burden off these clients. So it's a really big opportunity, okay? But people have been asking me, Dan, pay-per lead, performance-based, backend, getting hold of clients' databases and running campaigns to those databases and then taking a slice of every sale. How do you trust that the client is actually going to pay you? And it's a really good question. If you speak to a lawyer or someone like that, they're going to say you need to get a heads of terms, contracts signed, this, sign that. You'll be 10 grand down before you even kind of get going on any type of deal, okay? And the reality is that if you do want to do it by the letter and, cross every T and dot every I, if you're that type of person, then you're going to have to do this, and I'm not going to take that away from you, all right? But in my experience, I like working with humans that I trust, okay? I like to surround myself with humans that I trust, whether it be my staff, my friends, and my clients, okay? So the way I like to structure these performance deals, and yes, we still get them to sign a pretty basic contract or whatever, okay? But in reality, are you going to chase these clients and take them to court and ask for compensation and all that type of stuff if they do try and screw you? I haven't got time to do that type of stuff. I'd prefer to make sure I do enough due diligence on the front end before we get involved with these clients, before I even start offering performance-based deals. And the way that you can do that is, it's almost like a checkbox type of agreement, okay? The first one that's always non-negotiable if you're working on a performance-based deal is you want to have full access to their CRM for their sales, okay? We did this very successfully with a lot of debt consolidation clients and claims companies over here in the UK, where they were funding sometimes 6 figures a month in ad spend, and we were spending that money for them, and we were just generating all of these leads into their CRM, and they were paying us on a certain stage of the process. 'Cause sometimes the sales took up to 6 months. We said, we're not going to wait 6 months for that payment, Mr. Client. Can you just pay us when it gets to a certain point, an appointment or what they call a pack out or whatever that is? So you want to make sure that you have access to their CRM. And if they don't have a CRM, it's probably not a good fit to begin with. Sell them a CRM is my point, is my recommendation at that point. Sell them high level or whatever that is. But if they have got a CRM and they're not willing to give you access to it, then that's a straight walk. I'm walking away. Okay, you have to be strong with that type of thing. The other thing that you want to do is you want to stand ground on the percentage that you take from these clients on their sales, because you're doing all of this work that I spoke to you about before, and they're just closing the sale and doing the work. Okay, they've got their overheads. You've got your overheads and time and skills that you've developed. Okay, so push for 50% of whatever the gross profit is. Okay, they've got they'll say, oh, we've got to pay our staff, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. You've got the same thing. They don't know if you're a one-man band or you've only got some VAs that are really cheap. They don't know that. You don't have to share that with them, okay? Your skills are more important than their time and the cost of their employees, okay? So stay strong and commit to as big a chunk of commission as you can get on performance-based deals. And if they're not willing to budge, you're not happy with what you're doing, just walk away. There's plenty more fish in the ocean, and the reality is that they need a really good lead gen more than you need them, okay? The other thing that I was speaking about is trust, okay? I'm sure you're aware that when you're speaking to people, if you're like me, you get a pretty good sense relatively quickly. You might want to have a beer with them or go up and see them before and have a chat and see if they kind of align with your values and what you stand for. And usually you get a really good kind of gut feel. And my gut feel is really high on the checkbox scale. Okay, if I've got a really good gut feel, then I'll go with these people, even if they don't check a few of the boxes. Okay, because you want to work with them and you want to go into a partnership with them, and you can tell they're someone that wants to grow with you, especially if they've got deep pockets. I'm a big fan of that. Okay, if it's a big performance-based deal, they want to have people that can, close and do the job, because what you're doing is you're doing all this work to get the lead up to a certain point and handing it over to the client. If they're not able to close well, then it's not going to work for you. Do you know what I mean? So you want to make sure that they've got some systems and processes in place and they've bought leads before. That's a good checkbox. Have they paid for leads before or spent money on advertising? Okay, so that's another one that you can look at. The other way that we like to land these performance-based deals is if we have a website, right? Like a brand or whatever that is. Usually a brand in a lead generation niche, and it's kind of a micro niche of a niche. And if you're able to show that to your clients and they're able to immediately get it and go, oh yes, okay, this looks really good. I'm able to supplement my lead generation efforts with your brand. If you're able to do that and they're excited, then the sales are just going to flow very, very quickly. All right. And here's the paradox. If you've got this kind of checkbox to hand and you're approaching clients and you're asking them to check all of these boxes, suddenly you're not the desperate person. Like it's anything in life, do you know what I mean? If I was chasing my wife and was constantly in her face all the time, and like back when we were first dating, she probably would have palmed me off because I was too desperate. Do you know what I mean? And the same goes with working with clients. You don't want to be desperate. You want to kind of qualify them out. Treat them a little bit mean if you have to. Treat them mean, keep them keen. This really does work. And what you'll find is if that you stand your ground and you have stuff in place, then the sales will start flowing faster than you can imagine. Hopefully this video explains a little bit about performance-based deals, why they're kind of start taking over. My big tip for 2024 is database reactivation using AI. I think it's going to be a really, really, really big thing. People for a long time have been getting their hands on client databases, reactivating them and getting paid commission splits or whatever that is, right? But now we've got an even better way to get hold of those databases, which is AI. And the way we're doing that is with our sales Android. It can book, qualify, and close appointments automatically, so you don't need someone sitting there back and forth on the phone and all that type of stuff. There's a big opportunity here. All right, there's a link in my bio. It's called the Any Niche Android. You can have a play and see what you think. It's good stuff. Otherwise, please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and of course, comment if you've got any questions about what we're doing, performance-based marketing agencies and all that type of good stuff. I'll speak to you soon.